Thank you for hanging out with us a little longer. This is the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast. And if you just kind of tripped across us by Google or something else and you've not subscribed, do that so that it arrives in your inbox every single day, whether it's Apple Podcasts that you use or Spotify or iHeartRadio. You just choose your favorite podcast provider, and we're there.
Okay, so in 3 things to know today, learning that Elvis Presley went to one of Lisa Marie's parent-teacher conferences. We have to go deeper on this and talk about this. This is new information for the world, thanks to an excerpt from the book that's coming out October 8th, which actually, Murphy, I want to read this memoir now. I'm not even the world's biggest Elvis person, but I have to know this stuff.
Well,
so Lisa Marie was writing her memoir.
I think because it's from Lisa Marie, it's very different, and you're going to get the, I would think, non-sensationalized. It could be even a different viewpoint than her mom,
Of course. That's where I was going to go with this. Of course it's a different viewpoint. Go back to your childhood. Your mom had a very different view of your dad than you did. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was a little girl, the first time I ever heard my mother say something about my dad. Mm-hmm. And I remember going, well, that's not who I know. And then, of course, that goes on and on and on. The longer you have parents and no parents, and they have a different relationship. So, of course, my mother saw my dad in a very different light than I did. I practically worshiped him. I thought he was perfect, but I wasn't married to him. I was his child. I was daddy's little girl. And so that's who Lisa Marie was, daddy's little girl to Elvis Presley. And one of the excerpts that we now know exist from this posthumous memoir is that, and this is what I could feel. This is the word that she wrote, the words. I could feel the teacher's nervousness and excitement too. My little student friends were so excited that I got even more excited, and everybody was running around crazy. Now, the word is from this memoir, which we don't have our hands on yet. That's just an excerpt. Elvis came in to the classroom in a big belt with jewels and sunglasses, and the teachers were freaking out.
I bet. Did he have a name tag that said, "Hello, my name is Elvis"?
Can you imagine that these...
I don't know how you do that.
Part of me feels bad for the other kids because, the mom's not even thinking about, well, what are you learning this year? It's all like Elvis is in the classroom.
I want to give you the scarf here now.
Anyway, it's so funny. The name of this book is From Here to the Great Unknown. Mm-hmm. This is the posthumous memoir that Lisa Marie wrote, and Riley Keough has finished out October the 8th. But yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I started to read Elvis and Me, the Priscilla written book. And I remember when that was a miniseries and my mom was watching it, and she and my aunts and some of her friends were just talking about it they would watch it and they would talk about it the next day. And I remember listening in this must be awesome or important because they're spending so much time on it. I tried to read the book and it never captured me. Some of it kind of ugged me out a little bit, the whole superstar that he was and the world that he brought her into. And that's her telling of it. But Lisa Marie's telling of it is going to be different for me.
Well, and Lisa Marie always seemed like a straight shooter, kind of never cared about, what the media was going to think of her. She just was, what you saw is what she got.
She was never putting on airs.
Yeah, she kind of had the grit of Elvis, of her dad.
Yeah. So I'm definitely planning on reading this, guys, by the way. But it shines a light on that. The world has had a certain, expectation of him and relationship with him. And she was the only child. And so she had a very different experience with him.
That was a parent-teacher conference. That wasn't like career day or anything, huh?
No.
Oh, okay.
What does your daddy do?
Yeah.
What does your daddy do? Yeah,
Lisa Marie, tell us about your dad.
Well, and how do you get the teacher to shoot you straight when you're Elvis,
Yeah, she
Lisa
probably
Marie
got
is perfect
A's.
just the way that she is.
Right, and you're not going to go over that stuff with him anyway.
What does this mean?
Anyway, it's just an interesting realize I'm interested in the book, not because it's Elvis, not because it's Lisa Marie, but I want to know what her childhood was like.
Yeah. Well, and
she probably never saw enough of him.
She was 9 when he passed away, I think.
Oh.
Right? I mean,
So
he died
young.
in 1977, and she was born in 1968, so she had to be 9 years old. Mm-hmm. I'm sure the recollection, I mean, if I think back to my childhood of everything that happened before 10, it's not a whole lot. I mean, it's a few
What?
family vacations that were fun, and
But saying that from the younger you are, the stronger those memories, though. Remember, those are the ones that stay with you. You can remember the smell of a classroom, the way your grandmother said your name. Your memories are very, very strong before there's so many that you can't compare.
Yes. But because you haven't been in the world that long, it's a very, which is great. It's an innocent, unfiltered, and kind of, I don't want to say naive, recollection of some things. You're not going to be as keyed into the things that you would be as an adult, right?
But it's basically on the surface.
Right.
You just remember the event happened.
I wonder if she's going to talk about that,
and
when maybe he seemed off and she didn't know why. I mean, I remember that. I had a relative that we thought she was hysterically funny, and as we grew up, we learned, oh wait, she had a problem with alcohol and drugs, and sometimes she seemed funny because she was as high as a kite.
Yeah,
And
hey,
we
maybe
didn't
that's
know,
why I was so funny.
We didn't know that. No, you're still funny,
Okay,
sober. Good. You didn't lose that.
Thank goodness.
Anyway, I want to say this too. The book is always better. I don't think I have ever had the situation where a movie or a biopic was better than the book.
Are they talking about doing a biopic based on this book already?
I have not read that
I haven't seen
in my
anything.
Hollywood Outsider investigations, but I can tell you if the book sells well and
Hollywood will,
if it's very colorful, why would you not?
Yeah.
Why would you not make the Lisa Marie version of This Was My Childhood with Him?
Yeah. So is the book only about her childhood with Elvis, or is it about her childhood after his passing too, and her life with her mom also? I
don't know how far it goes.
Because,
it's her memoir about her life.
Okay, so it will cover all of it then. It'll be more than just her time with
it's
dad.
Lisa Marie. I mean, to me, there's a Michael Jackson chapter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chapters.
Wow, yeah.
Remember, and maybe there will be a lot of honesty about Priscilla, honesty about her children. And she had some other heartbreaks in her life. Remember, she lost a child.
Yeah.
I want to say to suicide. So she had a very roller coaster life, and a life that most of us could not imagine just because who her parents were.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the book is always better. I'm definitely going to be reading this book, and we'll see. I do think somebody will make the movie.
Probably
in fact, Riley
so.
Keough she may already have a deal in the works, and she's going to want, say so over every part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's very much in Hollywood, and she's very much she's making some very right moves. Her grandfather would be proud.
Well,
is what I'm trying to say.
She's very protective of the estate, the brand, and all of those things. So I would figure that if she handles a biopic the same way she's handled the rest of everything else.
Correct.
Right.
And next week also, I'll remind you on the day. Next week is also the day. One day next week is when we get the Oprah interview with Riley from Graceland about the book.
Yeah, Murphy, they have a little clip, a teaser online, and you see the piano in the background. They're sitting in that front room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That one we've all walked through?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when is the book coming out?
October 8th.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.